Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to do data filtering in Excel. Data filtering helps in narrowing down the data in a worksheet by displaying only rows that meet a certain filtering criteria and temporarily hides others. This helps users to focus only on the relevant rows of the data set at a particular time. People normally confuse sorting and filtering. Data sorting is where the entire table remains on display but gets rearranged, while data filtering displays only rows that meet a certain filtering criteria and temporarily hides the rest. We have three methods of adding filters. The first method is using the Data tab in the ribbon. You come in the ribbon and click on the Data tab. You come to Sort and Filter group and click on the filter icon. When you do that, the filter drop-down arrows appear in the header row. Then the second method is using the Home tab. Let me first undo. You click on the Home tab, then you come to Editing group, click on Sort and Filter icon, come down and click on the filter icon. You'll also be able to view the filter drop-down arrows in the header row. Then the third method is using the keyboard shortcut method, and that method you simply press Ctrl-Shift-L on the keyboard. Again, the arrows appear in the header row, and these arrows you can toggle them off by pressing Ctrl-Shift-L again. Bring them on by pressing Ctrl-Shift-L. Now that we have the filter drop-down arrows, we can access all the filtering options together with the AutoFilter list by clicking on any. For instance, if I click here on GeoRegion, I can access all the filtering options together with the AutoFilter list here. This AutoFilter list gives unique values within that very column. Now we can do some filtering. We can filter by either using a single column or multiple columns. For instance, if I want to view only rows whose geo-region is Asia, I use a single column of geo-region. So I click on the arrow, then I come down to the AutoFilter list. From this AutoFilter list, I first deselect, then I come back and select Asia. I click OK. From there, I'll be able to view only rows whose geo-region is Asia. And the moment you apply a filter, the filter button appears in the header. And when you hover over that filter button, it will display and give a screen hint indicating the applied filter. Even when you come to the left, you will notice that the row labels of the filtered rows have turned to blue. And even some rows are temporarily hidden. For instance, between 7 and 9, there is a row hidden. From 16 to 18, 14 to 16, there are some hidden rows. We can actually also apply an all condition in a single column. For instance, here, if I want again to view only rows whose geo-region is Asia or US, I come back and click on the button again. When I come down to the AutoFilter list, I choose US. So this means I want to view only rows whose geo-region is Asia or US. I click OK. I'll be able to view only rows whose geo-regions is Asia or US. Next, let us see how we can filter using multiple columns. But before we do that, we have to first clear this filter. To clear a filter, you come back and click the filter button here. Then you click on the clear filter. Alternatively, you can clear the filter by coming to Data tab in the ribbon. Then you click on the clear option here. So you can click on any. It clears and displays all the rows. So to filter using multiple columns, I'm going to use an example where I want to view only rows whose geo-region is Asia and the geo summary is international. Let me begin by displaying only rows whose geo region is Asia. So I click on the arrow here, then I come down, I deselect, then choose Asia, I click OK. It displays only rows whose geo region is Asia. But my interest here is to view only rows whose geo region is Asia, and at the same time the geo summary is international. So now I can further narrow down the data by coming to geo summary. I click the arrow, then I choose international. I click OK. Here it gives me all the rows that fulfill the AND condition. Now I can remove all the filters, either column by column, by simply clicking on the filter button, then I click on the clear filter. Or I come to the data tab in the ribbon, then in the sort and filter group, I click on the clear option. When I click there, it removes all the filters at once and it displays all the rows. And apart from the basic filtering options, AutoFilter provides other advanced tools to filter specific data types such as text, numbers, and dates by providing customizing options. These are contextual in a way that the filter options provided depend on the column data types. For example here, when I click on this arrow for the column containing text, when I click the arrow, it gives me text filters options only. Similarly, when I come to landing count, which is a column that has numbers, when I click the arrow and come down, it gives me number filters. Similarly with dates, when I click on the date, it gives me date filters. So now let us look at some examples. Let me begin by filtering text data. For instance, if I want to view again only rows whose geo regions is Asia or US, I come back to geo region, then I click on text filters, it gives me different text filters. So from here I can choose equals to, then from the customer auto filter dialog box, I put my conditions. Now I want to view rows where geo region equals to Asia, or I choose O here, then I say equals to again to US. From here, I'm stating that I want rows where geo region equals Asia or equals US. So I click OK. It displays only rows whose geo regions is Asia or US. Similarly, if I want to view only rows whose geo regions begin with letter A or E, I come back and click the button here. Then I come text filters. Now this time I want those countries that begin with certain letters. So I choose begins with. Then from this again dialog box, I specify the condition I want. So I want countries that begin with letter A or begins with letter E. So when I do that and click OK, it displays only rows whose geo regions begin with letter A or letter E. I can clear the filter by again coming to the button, then I clear filter. Next, let us see how we can filter numbers. So I come to landing count column which has numbers. I click the arrow, come to number filters. Then from here, you choose the options you want. For instance, now here, I want to view the top 5 rows. If I want that, I click on top 10 option. Then from the dialog box here, I choose the number of rows I want. So I move 10, I type 5, I click OK. I can be able to view the top 5 rows within my dataset. Also, I can decide to view rows whose numbers are above the average. So I can first clear the filter, come back, come to number filters. I want to view only rows whose numbers are above average. So I choose above average, and it displays only rows whose numbers are above the average. I can clear again by clicking here, then clear. Now let me use the date filters. If I click on the date column here and come to date filters, it gives me all the date filters option. For instance, now if I want to view rows between some dates, I use the between option here. I click it. Then from the custom AutoFilter dialog box, I specify the dates I want. Here I can type the dates directly, or I use the date picker here. When you click here, you can choose the date you want. So let me type the date. I want to view rows between Jan 1st, 2019 to December 31st, 2019. Here my condition is that I want to show rows where the date is after or equal to this date, and it should be before or equal to this date. When I click OK, it will display only rows that are between those two dates. And when you hover over the filter button, it displays the screen tip indicating the applied filter. I can clear the filter again by clicking the button here, then I clear filter. Next, let us see how we can filter by colors. And when we are filtering by colors, we can either use cell colors or font colors. Let me first give them different fill colors and font colors. Here I can give them, let's say, red. Then I can give them a different color. Then I can also give different font colors. So now that I have different colors, I can now do the filtering. I can click on the arrow, I come to filter by color option, then I choose either to filter by cell color or by font color. For instance, I can view only rows with yellow fill by clicking the yellow color. I can clear again, come back, choose a different color, for instance green. I can be able to view only rows with green fill. Similarly, I can come and click and choose a different font color. If I want to filter by a different font color, I come and click the color I want. You will be able to view only rows whose font color is purple. We can also clear the filter again by clicking the button, then clear the filter. Next, let me show you how we can copy the filtered data. For instance, I can come back and filter only rows with fill color of yellow. I get only 3 rows. If I want to copy these rows to some other location, I can select all of them, then I copy and paste. But this option, sometimes it can copy even the hidden rows. But to avoid copying the hidden rows, the best option, you press Ctrl+Shift+8 on the keyboard, then press Ctrl copy, come to the new location, press Ctrl+V, you'll be able to get a copy of the filtered rows. Alternatively, if you don't want to use the combination of Ctrl+Shift+8, you can use the Go to Special feature. You can access it from Home, then Editing Group, Find and Select. From there, you go to Special option. You get a Go to Special option, click Visible Cells Only. Let us stop here for this session. Hope it has been helpful. If you are new to this channel, kindly support by subscribing. For the returning subscribers, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Let us meet in the next session.